So in this video, I'm going to be ranking 20 different trading strategies. I'm ranking them by these 4 things. So barrier to entry, the community behind these, the time it takes to learn, and also the consistency. Disclaimer, this is a pure retail perspective. You don't have 100 mil to throw at this. It's really just you in your bedroom using these trading strategies. And also I've seen people be successful at all of these strategies. But in the end, like the real profitability comes from your experience and emotional management. So let's get into it. Right, first trading strat, we have breakout trading. Honestly, this is low EV. Like in reality, breakouts happen 20% of the time compared to like most of the time you're in a range. And just by that percentage, you are never gonna get consistent breakouts. And the risk reward is actually terrible on a breakout. So you would just never have it. Let me just draw out an example here. If you were to do breakout trading, and then you would have to map out your risk to reward. Let's say this is your breakout, right? Where's your risk? It's all the way down here. That's your risk, right? That's where you gotta put your stop loss. And if this is your TP, the risk reward is terrible, right? Breakout trading, terrible EV. I wouldn't recommend it. Yes, I've seen people actually make money with it, but honestly, don't rely on breakouts. All right, we have rug pulling.
Oh, hell no.
Honestly, yeah, this is low EV too. The barrier to entry for this is actually so low. Similar to like high frequency trading where you have just algorithms rug pulling things on a daily basis. Like the meme coin space is so inflated where the competition is actually just, you're competing against algorithms. You can't just rug pull someone unless you're Trump. Unless you release Trump coin, goes to 70 bucks, all the way down to $6 like 2 months later. So rug pulling, low EV with an exception for Trump.
It is what it is.
Which is infinite money glitch. Next trading strip, we have order flow. I would say that this is favorable. I mean, order flow, you're quite literally looking at all the transactions in the market. So instead of like a shape, you're actually looking at orders. And given how well you can read one of these, you can actually see where like institutions are placing their orders. I would say that compared to a lot of the strategies on the list, this is favorable once you get a right read on it. And I would say that this is much easier to manage than some of these other, I guess, trading strats. All right, we have insider trading.
Bruh.
This I would consider an infinite money glitch. I mean, salutary neglect, guys. If they don't know you're insider trading and you are insider trading, this is an infinite money glitch. Like, especially if you're like a family member who's in a company and they're just feeding you these things and you find a way to make money off of that, you're insider trading, but it's also infinite money. So heavily not recommend this because you'll go to jail, but it is an infinite money glitch. All right, next strategy. News trading. Yeah, you just gotta give up, bro. Pack it up, close your computer, uninstall TradingView. I would recommend you guys to never news trade. Whenever you're looking at news, something that already has happened. So you're literally behind on everything. So if you see news that Apple is going to release the iPhone 18, that basically already happened. Like people already know. Especially like a better example would be if Russia declares war on Ukraine. It happened. The news is just a way to communicate it with the crowd. So all the insiders, all the people behind this, they already know. The market is already priced in. If you're news trading, you're basically falling behind, and there's never really a way that you can make money off of just news trading. So personally, news is a no-go for me. Just give up.
Okay.
Trend line. Trend lines, I would say this is mid. The thing with trend lines, it's a hit or miss. You're quite literally just drawing a line on your chart. There's really nothing you can do to like increase your edge. Like sometimes the trend lines work. If I can pull up an example, you have this trend line, I think starting from 2022. And this trend line works like 4 times, right? You have like one rejection here, a rejection here, a rejection here, right? I mean, the trend lines work. The thing is, they work until they don't, right? It's a line you draw. Like price isn't going to reject because you draw a line on it. That's the thing. Like this, there's nothing really causing the movement. So it's really a hit or miss. So once you get to this point, as it breaks out, you're kind of fucked. So trend lines, I would say it's a hit or miss. I would call it a mid strategy. And honestly, like you can't really make any outsized gains from these trend lines. I know there's creators out there that market like trend line trading, but honestly, it's terrible, right? Like it's mid at best. All right, next trading strategy. You have influencer callouts. This is another give up, pack it up, uninstall TradingView, never trade again. this is the thing with following these influencers. They're not making money because they're calling like they're making money from you giving them money, right? They're not making money from trading. They're dead ass just sucking money from you from subscriptions, and then so we can just some bullshit and make money off of you guys. It's like course selling, where like you might get some good value from it, but rather if you're just following their callouts, you're blindly following someone's steps. And most of the time, they're making money off of the subscriptions, not the actual trades. And also, if you're a good trader, you're not gonna call out stuff, right? Like, there's no point for you to give other people free money. That doesn't work like that. So, if you're like trading through callouts, I would say please uninstall TradingView. All right, next strategy. We have meme stocks. Now, this might be controversial because everyone loves Wall Street bets. This is another give up. I'm not gonna lie. If you're trading meme stocks, you're quite literally trading everyone else. And in trading, you can't trade with everyone else, right? There's a reason why there's a 90% loss rate in trading. So essentially, if you're retail trading, like Wall Street bets, and you're gambling on meme stocks, you're basically the 99% of people that are unprofitable. At that point, just give up, because all you can do is follow the crowd.
Okay.
Like, you see people make millions or like make 1,000% on this options trade. There's also 50 other people that lost their account, that lost their retirement, and that lost their kids. So, like I said before, like, people have made money using this, but it's like 1 out of 100. This is below low EV. I would say that this is the worst trading strategy that you could ever have, just going on Wall Street bets. There's a reason why people endorse Wall Street bets, because these guys are so stupid. Alright, next strategy. We have value investing. I know this isn't trading, but Warren Buffett, he's such a goat. I would say that value investing, it's favorable. It's very favorable. Why? Because you're essentially just buying good companies. You're not doing any like technical analysis where you're drawing like boxes on your charts. So you're basically just buying into good companies. But if you think about it, on a 40-year time frame, the good companies are going to be the ones that thrive. I think Warren Buffett is very favorable. I mean, of course, he outperformed the S&P for 40 years straight. Or no, for like his entire career. It's very favorable indeed. There's nothing really else to... Can't really argue against Buffett. Alright. Next trading strategy. We have faith investing. I would say this is low EV. I would say this is low EV. There's different levels of faith investing. Like, it's similar to a value investing strategy of where if you think a company has good management, you have faith in the company. But the thing is, faith, you're really not looking at the numbers, you're really looking at the company. Yeah, if you believe in Nvidia, you're probably up for the year, like by a lot. The thing is, if you believe in like a company like Bed Bath & Beyond, that faith investing is going to take you to bankruptcy. So I would say it's not a give up strategy, but it is low EV, and I just don't, no one really fucks with it, you know? Next strategy, we have copying politicians. Got Nancy Pelosi right here. Guys, I think this is an infinite money glitch. I'm not gonna lie. I can replace this picture with Trump or Barron Trump. Who allows these politicians to trade? So like on these sports betting websites, the players can't sports bet, right? Like the sports team players, they can't. The thing is, the politicians, they're not barred from investing. Nancy Pelosi, she basically made most of her net worth from investing. Well, she has a salary of $200K, and she's worth like $500 million. Something that doesn't seem right. She basically has an infinite money glitch. Similarly, Trump, at the beginning of the election year, he basically doubled his net worth. His son tripled his net worth. It's totally coincidence, right? They totally don't know what's going on in the market. They're not manipulating anything. If you're a politician, you have an infinite money glitch. I know there's some websites that also like copy their trades. I would say that if you're copying these politicians, you basically have infinite money. Next strategy, volume profile. Now, I would say the volume profile, also known as the market profile, it's very similar to order flow, right? It's essentially a histogram of volume at a price rather than volume at a time. This volume is caused by orders. So basically, it's very, very similar to order flow. So I place them on the same scale, where it's a problem of causation versus correlation. The volume is actually what moves the markets versus drawing boxes on a graph, right? So I would say that given good experience, the volume profile and the order flow, these two strategies are much more profitable than like these patterns. Speaking of patterns, I think this is RSI, yeah, relative strength index. I would say this is mid. I personally haven't really back tested this, but the thing is, there's another indicator that's lagging. It's a lagging indicator, and it doesn't cause the price to move, right? Like the order flow and the volume, this is what actually causes price to move. But RSI, like it's really just a lagging indicator of just taking historical action and putting it on a chart, right? Like it might work for some people. It's decent for confluence, but you're not really favorable. But it's not a low EV. Like I would say for some people this might work for them, especially if you're investing. But from a pure trading perspective, this is mid. Same thing with the EMAs, right? You're really just taking historical data, it's lagging, and it's not causing the price to move, right? Just because price hits an EMA line doesn't mean it's going to reject. Honestly, these EMAs, like they don't even work half the time. It's selectively profitable where if you want it to work, you're gonna find some specific moment in time where it works. But if it doesn't work, you're just gonna ignore it. Like it's mid in the fact that you're not gonna be really profitable with it compared to any of these other strategies, but it is better than these bullshit strategies of news trading or like Wall Street bets. So it's mid. Now, head and shoulders. I would consider this like pattern trading or shapes. This is very low EV. Markets, they're moved by these high frequency trading algorithms, and they're like moved simply because the market makers are just hedging a net delta position. They're not considering that the market price is moving in a triangular pattern, like a fucking shampoo brand. Like no one is trading head and shoulders. This is another thing where it's selectively profitable, right? The people that market head and shoulder strategies, they pick out times in the market where it works, but they ignore the times where it doesn't work, right? You want to see consistency. You don't want to just see selective consistency. So I would say head and shoulders, I guess pattern trading is very low EV. Yes, selectively it might work, but the thing is, it's not consistent and you're better off trading another strategy. Now, options premium, writing premium, essentially covered calls, anything where you sell premium, like iron condors, I would say it's low EV, mainly because the structure of a call caps your upside and makes your downside infinite. Because when you sell a call, all the money you make is the premium. It's like buying a call option. All the money you can lose is what you put into it, right? And you have infinite upside as long as the stock moves in your direction. So selling options, it works the opposite way of the premium is the maximum amount of money that you'll make. In the long run, you are going to lose out on potential profit. Therefore, it's low EV. So honestly, options premiums, I would not recommend this to any trader. Like maybe in a bull market, this can work, but overall, like in terms of consistency, this is very, very mid. Or not even mid, it's low EV because you're capping your upside, you're making your downside infinite. This is also very controversial. I know a lot of people trade ICT, but I'm gonna put this at the top of mid. Now, I'm gonna get a lot of hate comments for this, but the thing is, I've seen people profitable with ICT, right? Like I have friends that have taken out $10,000 payouts through using ICT, but if we're looking at the majority of traders, right now ICT is like the hot stuff right now. Everyone is trading ICT. If everyone is trading a strategy, that strategy is simply gonna be bad for most people. Back then, maybe like 2022 when ICT was just introduced, maybe it could have been more profitable in terms of the people using it versus people not using it. But right now, because everyone is using ICT, there's less people, percentage of people that's profitable. It works. I know it definitely works. I have friends that personally have taken out payouts from it. But ICT himself, he's a scam, and most of the people that trade it are simply just retail. So I would say it's mid, and the only reason why the favorable thing exists is mostly because most people like that trade the strategy can make money from it. And most ICT traders, all they're gambling. That's just statistics, guys. Like you have the top 1% who's making money, but most of them are just straight gambling. MACD. Alright. MACD, honestly, mid. It's the same thing with RSI. Like it's a lagging indicator. It's decent for investing. The thing is, like, once again, this isn't causing the markets to move. This is really just an indicator that takes historical action and just plots it in like a fancy chart. This isn't going to make you consistent money. I will say this. It's decent if you're trying to get confluence for maybe if you're investing, but as a trading strategy, it's mid. I don't think it'll yield you any more profits, but in terms of expected value, I think it's still a bit above low EV. Alright. Next strategy, high frequency trading. Now, this is the thing. I'm taking this from a complete retail perspective. You don't have 100 mil, you don't have employees. All you have is a laptop in your bedroom. I would say high frequency trading, you just give up.
Bruh.
Honestly. There's these firms, Citadel, Jane Street, these high frequency trading firms paying their employees like hundreds of millions of dollars per year, right? You just simply don't have that capital, and the barrier to entry is so high that at that point, you're better off trading any of these other strategies as a complete retail trader. Honestly, it's a waste of time. Just give up. The barrier to entry is so high, it's just not worth doing it. Alright. There's another type of faith investing. This is going to the infinite money glitch. I'm not gonna lie. As an investor, and if you've been investing for like 40 years, or if you've been trading for like 15,000 hours, you literally gain the ability to predict trades without anything on your charts. Like your experience in the markets will be so vast that you can basically see these patterns or these trades popping up before you even put down like any single strategy. That faith is probably an infinite money glitch. You've gained so much experience in the markets where you can just summon a trade out of thin air. This is the real faith investing. Is that like this faith investing where you just believe in like a stock? This faith, there's different level. There's like Super Saiyan level, alright? So this faith investing, infinite money glitch, very few people actually possess this faith, but when you do, it's crazy, it's crazy. You instantly know what trade to take. Alright, so overall, this is my tier list. Down here, if you trade any of these, give up $50,000 of capital, you're not making any money off of this. I'm sorry, you're not competing against all the top HFT firms. EV, this still makes you money, right? Like you can still make money from this, but it's just lower than average. And as a retail trader, you're better off trading other strategies. So this is low EV. So mid, this is what most people trade, right? Most people trade ICT. Most people like trend lines. Most people look at EMAs. So this is mid. You will make money with this, especially if you have enough experience. But the thing is, these are just drawing lines and boxes on a chart. It's different from the favorables, right? The favorable ones, these are the ones that are actually causing the market to move. And also Warren Buffett. He's just the GOAT. He's one of the best investors. There's a reason why he's like $200 billion net worth. So Warren Buffett's up here with favorable, along with the two, I guess, volume-driven indicators. Honestly, infinite money glitch. You possess any of these, if you have insider information, or if you have god-level amounts of faith, if you have Nancy Pelosi in your house, you are making infinite money. Like over a long period of time, these returns compound to like 15 million% returns over like 100 years. So I'm not gonna lie, this is the pinnacle of trading. Now, two of these arguably might be illegal. If we're looking at it from a retail perspective, we're just trying to make money, guys. If we go to jail, it is what it is. So that's the tier list. Maybe I will come up with a tier list for trading habits next time.